Good evening and welcome to 27 Minutes here on WJTS 27. Downtown Jasper will be filled with aspiring artists very soon. Jasper Arts Director Kit Miracle explains.
It's our 5th annual Chalk Walk. We're very pleased. It gets bigger and bigger every year. We have more people already signed up, and I don't know how many people will sign up the day of. This will be Saturday, May the 3rd from 8 until 4 on the square in Jasper. Anyone can come and is invited. We have free entertainment for the children, for everybody, local area musicians. I think we're going to have a clown this year even. Get to chalk on the sidewalks. We have high school teams that are competing, adults who do, professional artists who come, food and arts market vendors who will be selling their wares. We have jewelry and pottery, and a lot of food vendors, which are many of the local organizations raising money. So it's just a wonderful day of fun in the sun with your family.
The annual Chalk Walk coming up in downtown Jasper. As the election approaches, a big event was staged in Bloomington yesterday on the IU campus. Gretchen Clearwater is running for Congress in the 9th District here in Indiana. She says the event in Bloomington was rare.
So for the first time, I believe, on the Indiana University campus, a polling site has been opened. And the reason they have opened the site is that so many people have registered to vote in Bloomington. They registered over 6,000 students, mostly students on campus, and so now they're wanting them to come in and vote, because most of them will go home at finals time and won't have a chance to vote. So this is terribly exciting. The participation that we're seeing in Bloomington is just outstanding. As far as I know, I've never seen this happen before on the campus before. Usually they talk about students not participating and they can't get them to the poll. So now here they're saying, there's the poll, come and vote. So they set the hours sometime between 10 and 3 o'clock today at the Indiana Memorial Union Building, and I would have loved to have been there to see what they were doing, but this is historic, I think. People are so excited. I hear students tell me that they are participating in politics because they can actually affect history, and they're so happy about this. This is very, very exciting.
Colorful Indiana Pacers radio color analyst Bobby Slick Leonard was the keynote speaker at this week's Huntingburg Chamber annual lunch. Slick's buddy, Southridge head basketball coach Gary Duncan, introduced Leonard before the basketball man told one of his funniest stories from his playing days as an IU student.
He's been with the Pacer broadcasting for 23 years. As a Pacer head coach for 12, he won 529 games, 3 ABA championships. We all remember the different color ball. And he was an outstanding playing career in high school, collegiate, and pro. He is named one of the 50th greatest players in the state of Indiana. He's an all-time All-American at Indiana University. He played 7 years in the NBA with Minneapolis and Los Angeles Lakers. He's a member of the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, was the first person inducted into the Indiana University Sports Hall of Fame. He is one of just 5 individuals to have his banner raised in honor and now hanging at Conseco Fieldhouse. He's a native Terre Haute. He just told me a while ago he came out from Kentucky when he was 2 years old, so we can't hold that against him. He's married to his wife Nancy, has 5 children and 7 great-grandchildren. And to me, the one thing I like to hear most is "Boom Baby." He made it famous. So I give you Slick Leonard.
I'm glad that wasn't my obituary. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I've been coming down here for probably the last 20 years. I come down usually in the spring, and later when Ellis Park opens, I come down maybe in July or August, and me and old Boo. Now you got to get used to Boo. I'll tell you who gave him that nickname. George McGinnis, back when Boo was playing with us, started calling him Boo Boo. Well, we shortened it to Boo. So when you hear me refer to Boo, it's Don Boosie. And And I tell him, and I told him last night, Gary, he and I went out to dinner with Stevie, and if Boo was playing today in the NBA, a point guard, about a $7 million player. That's a whole hell of a lot more than he made back when he was playing, I'll guarantee you that. No, but I was born down Bowling Green, Kentucky. They were in minors and moved up Terre Haute when I was 2 years old. So you didn't hear much about Huntingburg growing up in Terre Haute. But once I got to IU, my coach there, of course, was Branch McCracken. And he thought the world of Bill and Bob Minke. And that's the first time I started hearing about Huntingburg, Indiana. And back in the days when I was at IU, Bob came down to ball games then. So I got to meet him back when he was a much younger man. And I didn't know until Boo told me the other night that he'd passed away. But, you know, a lot of funny things. I just finished up my 52nd year in professional basketball. So I've seen everything that's come down the pike. I've either played against, coached against, or broadcast games and everything in the last 50 years. And that includes a lot of great ones. You know, the Wilt Chamberlains, the Bill Russells, Oscar Robertsons, right down the line. You know, I have to go back, you know, the great years for kids. The 4 years I spent at Indiana University was just wonderful. It was just wonderful. All you had to do, play basketball and go to class. That's all you had to do. And I remember very well in 1953. Back then you had to win the conference championship to get in the NCAA tournament. It wasn't like today where they take a team finish first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. There were 14 conferences in the United States, and they picked 2 at-large teams, so it was a 16-team tournament. And I never will forget, in '53, we went to Chicago Stadium for the NCAA Regional. The Ivy League champion, Pennsylvania, was there. We were there, the Big Ten champion. 2 at-large teams were in that regional. One was Notre Dame, and the other was DePaul of Chicago. And the first night we beat DePaul, and Notre Dame took Pennsylvania out. So the next night it was a matchup between us and Notre Dame, and we beat Notre Dame by 13 to go to the Final Four. At the Final Four was University of Washington, Louisiana State with Bob Pettit. Now both of these teams had Hall of Fame centers, guys that are in the Hall of Fame today. Bob Hubrich from Washington and Bob Pettit from LSU. And of course we had Don Schlunt, and Kansas had B.H. Barnes. 4 great centers at the Final Four. But anyway, it came down to the first night we beat Louisiana State, took them out, and Kansas beat the University of Washington. So we're matched up against Kansas, the team that won it this year. We're matched up against Kansas for the NCAA championship. Dean Smith was captain of that Kansas team. He came off the bench, but he was captain of that Kansas team. I drove to the basket with 27 seconds to play and got fouled. The score was tied at 68 all. I got 2 free throws. Fog Allen was the coach at Kansas. That's Allen Fieldhouse in Kansas today, named after Fog Allen. I stood up at the free throw line on that first free throw and hit the back of the bench and bounced out. Fog Allen called a timeout. Wanted me to think about the second one. Well, I hit the second free throw. We go ahead 69-68, and that was the final score. We put the defense on them in that last 27 seconds, and they took a desperation shot out of the corner. We're the national champion. We're in the dressing room. We're in the dressing room, all the media and everybody's in that dressing room in Kansas City. And they're over there talking to Branch and everything. And finally they came over to me and they said, Bobby, how'd you feel standing there on the free throw line with the national championship hanging in the balance? So we just talked to Coach McCracken, and he said you had ice water in your veins. And I said, baby, if that was ice water, it sure as hell felt awful warm when it was running down my leg.
Meanwhile, the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame here in Jasper got a new exhibit, so to speak. Members of SWAP presented Hall of Fame director Ray Howard with some autographs from the old Negro League Baseball group. Tommy Williams of SWAP explains how the signatures came to Jasper.
Had their 75th anniversary in Kansas City at the museum. And that is when we formed our organization, SWAP, Seniors with a Purpose. Mr. Harmon, Mr. Davis, Mr. Ali, there were three other members of our group at the time, Don Johnson, Tom Turner, and Ronnie Bunny Warren. All attended this. It was a 3-day affair. And the gentleman who couldn't be with us today, Mr. Ali, got all the autographs of all of the Negro players who were present for those 3 days. And this is what transpired. We've had these signatures for the past 13 years and trying to find a appropriate home for these. And I went on the internet and saw the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame, and I said, Mr. Harmon is a native son. This is the perfect place for it to be. So called Ray. He was very open to it. Bring them down today, ship them today. So we were just excited that Ray and the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame were agreeable to display these. I mean, we're happy that they're in a beautiful museum and a fitting place for them to be. Mr. Davis he played in the Negro League. He was a pitcher for the Memphis Red Sox, 1950, 1955. Mr. Harmon was the first African American to play for the Cincinnati Reds in 1954. He also played for the Indianapolis Clowns in 1947. He also, in 1947, he was drafted by the St. Louis Browns. Then he went to the Cincinnati Reds. Initially, we were just a bunch of guys who had played Negro League, minor league. As a matter of fact, our previous president of our group, Sonny Webb, was very instrumental in our group, and he passed away in December of last year. So I can't possibly not mention our group without mentioning Sonny's name. He was very, very, very a large part of our group. As a matter of fact, he always said he was the baby of the group. Mr. Harmon will be 84. Matter of fact, next Wednesday. Mr. Davis just recently turned 80, and Sonny was 73 when he passed in December. I mean, I can't even tell you how happy we are to have these in this wonderful facility. Thank Ray totally for his agreeable nature to bring this down. We couldn't get them down here fast enough.
Of course, the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame located on the Vincennes University Jasper campus at the Rookser Student Center. Starting in February of 2009, television will go through some changes. Here's a preview.
One law passed by Congress in 2006 is going to affect the way people watch television starting in 2009. Federal law mandates television stations to switch to digital broadcasting, or DTV, by February 17, 2009.
At that point, broadcasters will not be allowed to broadcast in analog. They'll have to broadcast in digital.
Digital is a more efficient way to broadcast, and it promises crystal clear pictures and sound, more programming, and even high-definition broadcasts, or HDTV, for viewers with HD sets. But viewers who get television signals through rooftop antennas or rabbit ears must take action to upgrade or risk losing TV signals altogether.
About 34 million households will be affected by the switchover to digital television. Nearly 20 million of these households rely exclusively on free over-the-air television.
There are 3 ways to upgrade to DTV. Purchase a converter box that converts the digital signal into the analog format so older TV sets can read it. Purchase a new television set with built-in digital tuner, or subscribe to a pay service like cable. Converter boxes will go on sale in early 2008, and the government will be giving away $40 coupons to people who want to buy them.
If viewers are watching free TV or using an antenna, the federal government will subsidize $40 for the cost of an eligible converter, which is expected to cost anywhere between $50 and $75.
According to polls, nearly 60% of viewers had not seen, read, or heard anything about the DTV transition.
We've launched a massive consumer education campaign to inform viewers about the digital television transition. We're talking to TV viewers all over the country as part of our DTV Roadshow.
We want to make sure you have all the facts about the DTV transition. To learn more about digital TV and what you must do to upgrade, visit dtvanswers.com, the official website of the broadcasting industry on DTV. Reporting from Washington, D.C., this is Jane Martin.
America is switching to digital television because Congress mandates this by a statute. And what they are doing is enabling broadcasters to have more power in their broadcasting and more ability. But what we're doing is moving broadcasters also to a different part of the spectrum, and that will free up some of the leftover spectrum because digital is more efficient. And we'll be able to use that spectrum for things like two-way broadband services. Digital system will first of all give consumers a clearer picture to look at. It will be a much richer experience for them. In addition, they'll be able to receive the multicast streams that each broadcaster will be able to broadcast. And what that means is they'll be able to see new stations, new channels that each broadcaster is able now to broadcast due to the power of digital.
We're doing a tremendous amount. We've launched a massive consumer education campaign to inform viewers about the digital television transition. We're talking to TV viewers all over the country as part of our DTV Roadshow. And we'll be visiting more than 200 cities before February 2009, speaking to people at state fairs, sporting events, public meetings at state capitals, and in city and village halls. We also have a terrific website, dtvanswers.com, that walks viewers through the steps they must take to navigate the DTV transition. There's even a video on the website that provides an overview as well. And we're talking to reporters at newspapers and at television stations and radio stations all across this great country to make sure the DTV transition is being covered in the popular press. It's important that viewers read stories about it and hear about it on their evening news programs.
If viewers are watching free TV or using an antenna, the federal government will subsidize $40 for the cost of an eligible converter, which is expected to cost anywhere between $50 and $75. Now, households in the United States and its territories are eligible for coupons on a first-come, first-served basis, and a maximum of 2 $40 coupons per household will be allowed. Converters will be available in stores and online wherever televisions or other consumer electronic products can be purchased, beginning in early 2008. The government will provide a list of eligible converters and participating retailers when coupons are mailed to consumers.
Mark your calendars. February 17th, 2009 is the date when full-power television stations across the country must broadcast in only digital.
Digital, what does that mean?
Digital is an electronic series of ones and zeros that are transmitted to your set. Your TV reassembles this information into pictures and sound. Digital technology allows us to get more information in a smaller amount of space. It's like fitting 16 lanes of traffic on a 4-lane road. If you think about what's been happening in the last few years, there have been some remarkable advancements in entertainment technology. CDs and iPods have replaced vinyl records. Movies that we watched on VHS tape just a few years ago are now viewed on DVD. Digital technology makes all of this possible. Since the beginning of television, innovations such as color and stereo sound had not required us to make any changes to our TV equipment just to keep receiving our programs. But this time, the dramatic nature of the change to digital means that we have to take some action or our televisions will stop working.
If you subscribe to cable or have satellite TV,
or already have a digital TV, you won't be affected by the change. But you might know someone who is.
As always, the most disenfranchised are the poor and the people that are marginalized, to include the elderly. It is also people that live in rural areas. It is also minorities. Those groups tend to rely on over-air broadcasting more than other groups. And so we just need to make sure that we are doing the research that we need to do on the ground to find out what are the best ways to reach those populations.
And it may be a television set in your kitchen, in your garage, in your basement, in the bedroom, that's not connected to cable or satellite. And you need to be sure that you have a converter box so that analog television set continues to work in the digital age.
How you guys doing?
Hi, how are you? Come in, come in.
Oh, we're watching antenna television. Did you know February 17th, 2009, this TV isn't going to work anymore? You got to get with it. Digital is in. I'll show you how it works. It's easy. And with digital television, you get better picture quality, better sound, and the signal is free. I like that. I'll get one for you. So, what do you guys think?
I like it. I like it a lot. What do you think?
Looks good.
Do I get to keep the box though?
Yeah.
Once the converter box is attached to your antenna TV, you can easily view your favorite channels and some new ones with crystal clear reception. You've seen how the converter box works with your existing television and what it takes to get one.
This is amazing. I love it.
But maybe you're ready to purchase a new digital-ready TV. With high definition, plasma, LCD, DLP, and 5.1 surround sound, how does anybody know what to buy?
Well, if you go to any store in the United States where they sell televisions, you will see the difference. You will see all those sets that are on analog, it's one picture, and then you see the ones that are on digital. And man, what a difference that is. It is night and day. I just bought one, a big old screen, and I have to tell you, I love it. I could be rooted to my chair so I can look at that.
Anybody who has watched television and can see the difference, you'd certainly prefer digital.
When shopping for a digital television, there are three main types you can buy: plasma, DLP, or LCD.
If you're in a bright room, you might choose LCD. If you like more of that home theater film-like environment, you might choose plasma.
DLP is a rear projection technology. What it does is it shines light onto a reflective surface that has multiple mirrors. They tend to be very energy efficient, but the pictures aren't necessarily quite as bright.
So then, what's the difference between DTV and HDTV?
HDTV is actually a subset of DTV. HDTV is the highest level of digital television. You have standard definition digital, enhanced definition digital, and high definition television for that ultimate home theater experience.
The way to understand it is if you look at a photograph in a newspaper, you can see the dots. And if you look in a magazine, you don't see the dots. It's clear. There's more, the dots are smaller. That's the easiest way to explain it.
Whether you're choosing a new HD TV that's plasma, LCD, or other technologies, all of them have built-in digital tuners today, so you can take that home and receive free over-the-air HD TV and other digital programs.
When we talk about the television viewing experience, we can't forget about sound. The new digital sound is amazing. When you get connected, you'll be able to go from 2 speakers for stereo to 5 speakers for surround sound, just like in the theater. Sales of TVs that don't have a digital tuner are required to have labels alerting customers that they have an analog tuner, and therefore will require a digital to analog converter box to receive access to free digital television after February 17, 2009. So when you purchase your next TV, carefully read the packaging. It must confirm that the TV has a digital tuner, or else it should be identified as being analog.
That will wrap up this edition of 27 Minutes here on WJTS 27. For the entire crew, I'm Kurt Gutgsell. Have a great weekend.